I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a life coach. I don't have a PhD in anything. I'm just another human being living life and experiencing experiences. So I wrote this the other day and I just want to read it to you. So if you hear any of this paper sounds, that's what it is. Mental health and self-care are really important to me because when I was 12 years old, I started thinking about suicide. And later on in life, I got hooked on drugs. It wasn't until my life got blatantly unmanageable that I knew something had to change. My mental state at the time was still damaged and I was under the influence of drugs, so I couldn't make these decisions on my own. God was obviously working in my life and in the people around me. I had like 1 or 2 boyfriends while I was in school, but nothing serious. When I was in active addiction, I was in a relationship. And when I talk about Caleb, I always say that it didn't start off as a drug relationship, but that's pretty much where it ended. We were fighting all the time, almost to the point of physical violence, but Caleb was the first person that I gave my whole heart to. After I left Tucson and moved back to Florida, the relationship ended, and to be completely honest, it crushed me. I lived through a childhood trauma, drug addiction, and now heartache. My mom paid for me to go to a few counseling sessions, but my brain was still so foggy, so I really wasn't receptible to the healing process. And I didn't want to feel like a burden anymore, especially after putting my mom through so much worry and stress with my addiction. That's basically when I discovered the recovery community that I'm involved in today. Being a recovering addict, the feeling of loneliness can kind of suck and in some cases be overwhelming. I believe even normies can find sadness in feeling lonely. So I've heard it said, and I'm sure you have too, it's better to love yourself before you love someone else. I try my best to focus on this concept when I get in those spouts of loneliness. I think it's best for me to redirect my thinking and focus on something more positive and productive. That's kind of the reason why I started YouTube in the first place. I mean, I needed attention, but I also needed an outlet, a creative outlet. I have a few other hobbies like reading, painting, roller skating, trying my best to keep some plants alive along with my fish. I believe self-care can involve a multitude of activities and hobbies. As a human, I also try to focus on my goals and actually think about my future instead of writing it off as something not important. I believe that self-care can be anything that helps you move in a positive direction, whether it be physically, mentally, or spiritually. In my journey of self-care, self-love, and self-acceptance, I've been to the movies and the beach alone a few times, and I enjoy doing these things alone. But I also believe it's important to make sure that you're not neglecting your friendships or other relationships in your life. Human interaction is not always easy, but nobody ever said it would be. Life isn't always easy. All we can do is our best and pray for the strength to do so. The old saying goes, treat others how you want to be treated, but often we forget to treat ourselves in that same manner. It has taken me a long time to change my way of thinking, but it is possible if you want it. I guess the reason for this video is to promote how important it is to take care of your physical and mental and spiritual being. Your body, mind, and spirit are all connected. Energies are very powerful, but I feel like a lot of times we write it off as being insignificant. If animals are affected by our energies, maybe we should be paying a little bit more attention to that and who we let into our lives. I know for me, I always hung around hurt people because I was hurt, depressed, and miserable. I needed comfort, and I thought I had found it in those people and in drugs. Not one person has helped me to fill my void or make me whole. Only God can do that. I try to go to church at least once a week, read the Bible in the morning, and I constantly work on my communication with God. I'm not here to preach to you because honestly I probably wouldn't be good at it anyways. I'm just trying to share my experience and what has worked for me. I love my life today and I'm excited for the future. My favorite quote from the movie Fight Club, which was written by Chuck P., I cannot pronounce his last name, is it's only after we had lost everything that we were able to do anything. The dark times and trials are what made me into the person I am today, but they do not define me as a person today. I know what I'm worth and where I want to go. If I keep on this path, I promise you that I'll be more high on life than I ever was on drugs. Self-care is about respecting yourself and being a little selfish at times. Just know you are worth that job, promotion, car, relationship, and that house. You are worth the American dream that we all seem to be chasing. Remember to always respect yourself because you are important and you are worth more than diamonds.
Sing me something soft, sad and delicate, or loud and out of key. Sing me anything. Sing me something soft, sad and delicate, or loud and out of key. Sing me anything. We're glad for what we've got, done with what we've lost. Our whole lives laid out right in front of us.